And we are live. All right. So, actually, easier if I do these without. We will start off with the general reading, followed by the romance reading and career. And then we will discuss some things, read some Neville Goddard, and if anybody else would like their fortune told in the meantime, we will do it. Now, I would advise for anybody who's been watching the show and anybody who will watch it in the future that after tonight's episode, depending on how the ratings of the series do, there might only be 5 more episodes left of this series. I'm waiting to see if people requesting their fortunes told increases, and if not, then we will probably end the series about episode 20. Because it's just no point in going live for this if nobody else wants their fortune told, really. Besides, with as much knowledge as I've shared, the show has been good, quit while you're ahead kind of thing. I figure at least I could say that I have left the majority of these episodes with some words of wisdom, good teachings, and it's been fun to tell some stories about latest developments. But, things could change. People could come on for live readings and then might compel me to make a third season, which would be another 10 episodes. Anyways, starting off, I'm going to shuffle these cards good. All right, so great Clow cards of Clow read using the power of the sun, the moon, and the stars. Reveal to me the insights regarding my general future with this fortune telling. Release. Interesting. All right, so tonight we got the lock card, we got the sand card, the shadow card, the sleep, and the mirror. So, from what I can gather with this, is hold fast to something, tie it down, lock or fixate on something specific, and keep that in my mind. The shadow is saying there is sort of like a dark period happening now, and there's a bit of difficulties, which is why the sand is indicated. Difficult movement, dark times. The sleep indicates that I am feeling kind of without energy, drowsy lately, and that is true. It's a reflection of that. And then the mirror is basically suggesting that I should look at how I look at myself, not as how I currently am or how I was, but how I would want myself to be, and focus on that. All right, let's see what other messages the Clow cards have for me tonight. Oh, great Clow cards of Kurorido. Reveal to me the message you have intended for me in these next 5 cards. Release. Oh, very interesting. All right, so we have the little card first, followed by the sword card, the illusion card, the arrow card, and the rain card. So what this is indicating too is that there is what seems like small things happening all around me, but that I am getting stronger, which is why the sword pops up. It's sort of like a test of perseverance, but I have to fight my way through it. The illusion is that more is happening around me than what I actually realize. Though it seems like only little things have happened, there's actually more happening in the greater scheme of things. And the arrow indicates a time to focus, to really be accurate with where I direct my energy, where I position my thoughts and words and feelings. And the rain is indicating that um, basically the rain is saying there is sort of a time of rain before the harvest. Like before, um, well, as they say, without sunshine and rain, the grass won't grow. So it's basically indicating that this period of rough patches is actually all part of the greater scheme of things, whether I realize it or not, which is actually a very good thing. So, okay. That's the general reading. Now we will get into romance. Oh, great Clow cards of Kurorido, using the power of the sun, the moon, and the stars, reveal to me what message you have regarding my romantic nature and my love life. Shuffle that a bit more, just so I can see that card. That. Reveal to me the message you have for me now. Oh, great Clow cards. Release. Oh, very good. Oh, really good. Especially for this kind of reading. All right. So, I guess I'll shift these over just so they're actually in order. We'll go there. So, first we have the twin, which indicates twin flame, especially if it's a romantic reading. The flower indicates that a new romance is about to blossom, that something is flowering. I am about to reap my harvest, so to speak, especially because this is a romance reading. Some new special connection is about to get closer. It's about to really flourish and grow. The fact that I got the love card, that's a really good indication for a love reading. That means, like, with all the other cards, it's like this is time for really the one special one to come forward. The fact that the silent card came up, meaning I don't have to say anything to this person. They already know how I feel. And the answer of what to do in particularly might not be to say something, but I will get the answer in a dream or a vision coming up. It's also indicating that the fact that the dream card is here is that even though there hasn't been much talking, hence the silent card, this is actually like the perfect romance that is about to blossom. So that's a very good sign. All right. Now we'll do career. Oh, great Clow cards of Kurorido, using the power of the sun, the moon, and the stars, reveal to me the next steps I should take or message you have to incite me with regarding my career. Release. Okay. All right. So the dark card indicates that this is sort of the darkest hour of what would be like my music career, is what it's indicating, the dark. However, it's saying that, like, because there's the storm and I seem frozen by it, the freeze card, the dark, the storm, and the freeze are all indicating this is all part of the trial. However, the next two cards were the glow and the big. That big opportunities are coming, and now, despite this being one of the more darker, difficult times, this is the time to really shine, to do my best and focus on what I want with my career, and that will overcome the other challenges. Although I feel frozen, I think what this is also indicating too is that when the time arrives, I will really shine my brightest anyway at the natural moment that it is meant to happen. So, these are all very good. Now, I will read a bit of Neville Goddard and we will get into our discussion after. If anybody else would like a reading after I complete this too, please comment gender, Zodiac sign, and if you would like a general future reading or romance or career, and I will do yours following this. But we will continue where we left off as far as reading Feeling is the Secret. We've covered a chapter of this every night for each episode as we've gone forward. This is the final chapter, so this would actually conclude Neville Goddard's Feeling is the Secret, which is an amazing book. And actually, after I read this chapter to you all, I would have actually read this book 7 times now. So if that's any food for thought, it's a really incredible book to just keep rereading over and over again and studying, because there's just so much knowledge in it. In order for your brain to really soak up the information of it, as Buddha would say, a jug is filled drop by drop. So it's important to reevaluate and review it. Now, chapter 4 is called Spirit and Feeling. So here we go. Chapter 4, Spirit Feeling. Not by might, nor by power, but by my spirit, saith the Lord of hosts. Get into the spirit of the state desired by assuming the feeling that would be yours were you already the one you want to be. As you capture the feeling of the state sought, you are relieved of all effort to make it so, for it is already so. There is a definite feeling associated with every idea in the mind of man. Capture the feeling associated with your realized wish by assuming the feeling that would be yours were you already in possession of the thing you desire, and your wish will objectify itself. Faith is feeling. According to your faith, feeling, be it unto you. You never attract that which you want, but always that which you are. As a man is, so does he see. To him that hath, it shall be given to him. That hath not, shall it be taken away. That which you feel yourself to be, you are, and you are given that which you are. So assume the feeling that would be yours were you already in possession of your wish, and your wish must be realized. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he him. Let this mind be in you, which was also in Christ Jesus, who being in the form of God, thought it not robbery to be equal with God. You are that which you believe yourself to be. Instead of believing in God or in Jesus, believe you are God, or you are Jesus. He that believeth on me, the works that I do shall he do also. Should be, he that believes as I believe, the works that I do shall he do also. Jesus found it not strange to do the works of God, because he believed himself to be God. I and my Father are one. It is natural to do the works of the one you believe yourself to be. So live in the feeling of being the one you want to be, and that you shall be. When a man believes in the value of the advice given him and applies it, he establishes within himself the reality of success. Very short chapter tonight, but very important. As you could, I'm sure, gather, anybody who watches this, just that chapter alone, as I was rereading it, I was like, oh, I understand. Like, there were things that I had read this now 7 times, right? There were things I didn't even really get about that last chapter that just kind of clicked with me as I was reading out loud there, even. Like, oh. And it was so interesting because it's like I've read it so many times, but rereading it, it kind of put the idea in my mind fresh. Like I had just read it for the first time. Like I was sitting there thinking like, oh, I forgot about that. But I'm like, oh, that makes so much more sense. So yeah, I definitely recommend this to anybody who wants to learn more about Neville Goddard or study him. As the book suggests, a great American mystic. In fact, probably the greatest mystic of all time. In fact, another expert on the subconscious mind, a man who wrote The Power of the Subconscious Mind, Dr. Joseph Murphy, the metaphysical writer and lecturer who studied with Goddard in New York City, said of him, Neville may eventually be recognized as one of the world's great mystics. In fact, I think he's the greatest mystic of all. I'll also quote a passage from another book of his, just in case anybody else is interested, called Awakened Imagination and the Search. Through imagination, we disarm and transform the violence of the world. Our most intimate as well as our most casual relationships become imaginative. As we awaken to the mystery hid from the ages that Christ is in us, is our imagination. We then realize that only as we live by imagination can we truly be said to live at all. That's some interesting food for thought. So, yeah, if anybody else would like their fortune told, feel free to comment. Just getting a sip of coffee. But we will get into the discussion portion of our show. And oddly enough, I did post a video on my channel as well as on my Facebook. It's actually a new idea for a song, a really cool song I wrote. First song I ever wrote completely in Japanese. And it's like a punk rock Japanese pop song, but all the lyrics were in Japanese. And I was really proud because it's catchy. It's got a nice rhythm to it. I designed the instrumentation already and everything for it. And the lyrics, they're really heartfelt and it was really deep. In fact, I struggled to really come up with any full solid song. But since I'm going to start working on this new album I mentioned in the last episode, A Point to Prove, I decided, well, I should write what I'm feeling, write my feelings. So, especially because Hitomi-chan made that wonderful song Mystic World, which was one of my new favorite songs. It's just wonderful. In fact, I think it's the best damn song of the year. Definitely go check it out if you haven't heard it. But especially because I love them and they're very dear to me. And I'm like, I'll put it this way. I love everything about them. Not just the fact that they're beautiful, that they're a great singer. And like, they're a hero to me in many ways. I'm grateful for them because they saved me in one of the darkest moments of my life. And some people criticized me about that when I was on a live video call with this media matrix mindset mastery family thing. They were all like saying I had like Florence Nightingale syndrome, like when a patient falls in love with their nurse. And I'm like, it's not like that. They're not a nurse or anything. Like, they inspired me and they gave me the will. In fact, I find when I'm going through dark, depressing times, I often fall back on them to lift my spirits and make me feel better. Sometimes there's not anything else that makes me feel better. I just get into those moods, especially because I used to struggle with mental disorders, which are better now. But, you know, I even had an anxiety attack earlier today, and I hadn't had one of those in a long time, probably because of the pressure and the stress of everything going on lately, right? It got to me. But what I can vouch for and say about Hitomi-chan that makes her so special is Everything I tried today didn't make me feel better. But when I just laid back on my bed, I put on some of her old music videos and I just started watching them, singing along with them, just, you know, having a good time. It was like a tranquilizer. I instantly felt like the relief of all tension. Like I felt at peace. And she just has a magical quality like that. I mean, I love lots of other Japanese pop singers. I mean, if I was to sit here and show you all of my different Japanese pop artists, singers, and CDs and all that, you would definitely get the vibe. Like, okay, he loves a lot of this music. But Hitomi is special. I love her for so much more than that. And she's really cool. We both like baseball. We like to read a lot. We like Japanese beer. We're both artists. So there's just a special bond I feel with her that in the darkest times I lean on her and she gives me strength. So because she made that wonderful song Mystic World and she sings the end of it in English, there's a line, every day I will fall more in love with you. I need you, I will love with you, baby, love too. And it's really great because, like, hearing that, I don't know, it inspires me. I almost feel like, hey, she could be singing to me. And maybe it's crazy to believe that, but in some way, like, I feel it emotionally that it feels like she is, and it inspires me, right? But oddly enough, because of the way she sang that ending part in English, I wrote this song as almost a response. Now, the song is called Boku mo Aishiteru yo, which means I love you too. The reason it would be Boku mo aishiteru yo and not Watashi mo aishiteru yo is because of the gender difference. I'm indicating that no, I'm a man, but that's the only difference because you could also say it if you were neutral gender or female as Watashi mo aishiteru yo. But since I'm male, Boku mo aishiteru yo. So, yeah, I wrote this song and it's very interesting because the first lyric I'm saying, like, every day we fall in love even though we're so far away. Mainichi watashi tachi wa koi ni ochimasu to kedo. And then the next line, boku wa hoho o mitsukeru tame ni benkyou shimasu. I am studying every day. Anata no kokoro no oku fukaku ni, which basically means like so that I can find a way to your heart. I'm studying every day so that I can find a way to your heart. To summarize that, and then ane, which means forever, 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 right? So kind of like a chant, but it's catchy, so it works, right? And then it goes back to the chorus because it starts with the chorus, then it goes back to it. The chorus is Hai so desu zuto boku mo aishiteru yo. Hai so desu zuto boku mo aishiteru yo. And that means, yes, that's right, forever. I love you too. Boku mo aishiteru yo. Yes, that's right, forever. And I love you too. It doesn't flow the same in English. I'll put it that way. I couldn't even make an English version of this song. It's best just left in Japanese. But it was a proud accomplishment because I never made an entire song in just pure Japanese. But then the next part, it gets even more deeper. And this is where you really see the tie-in of how I'm basically making the song as a response to Mystic World. Nanika de owaru hate shinai ai. Watashi tachi ga sunde iru nante. Shinpi, shinpi tekina sekai desho. And that's saying, we live in a mystic world, don't we? And then it goes, Boku no tame ni ego de utate kudasai. Dakara boku wa anata no tame ni Nihon no Hitomi-chan o utaimasu. And that's basically saying, to summarize, that she sang to me in English, I sing in English, but please let me sing for you in Japanese. And to Hitomi-chan, it's your song, utaimasu. So that's pretty much what that would mean. Just for anybody who doesn't know Japanese and is interested in what I'm actually saying with the song. But yeah, I posted the video of me actually singing like it rough out loud. The instrumental didn't show up because, well, I honestly think it's because I was using the laptop to record it. And because of that, it just didn't pick up on the actual instrumental playing in the background of the recording because they're all playing on the same system, right? But I am going to be recording it soon. I actually just made a slight additional change to the lyrics just so that it's more accurate, right? But yeah, it's going to be a great song. It's like I said, it's going to be like a Japanese pop punk rock kind of song. I actually got inspired to make a song like this watching the anime Nana, which I'm a big fan of. And then also, especially because I was getting a bit of writer's block, especially because I got all these great new beats from Tone Jones, and I have a few that I produced for myself. But I was struggling because I was like, what kind of song should I write? I mean, I have been super lyrical and multilingual and put out all these crazy songs that were like, you know, me at my best, bringing my A game for so many albums in a row. Yet I hadn't necessarily made a lot of money or become a big star or successful. So I was even sitting there like, this is why I got stressed and anxious earlier. I was wondering, is it something I'm doing wrong? Should I simplify my lyrics, dumb it down? Should I try to find better managers, marketing people, promoters? Like, what is really the secret of how to take it to the next level? And I look at it as artists who seem like they're drunk and they're slacking, like they're half-assing hip-hop and rap nowadays, are making millions. And I come so much better than all of them, yet I'm not really that famous. So I thought, should I dumb it down? But then there's also that negative stigma of being a sellout if I do that. Like if I became big by doing that, yeah, that'd be great. I want to make a living as an artist. But would I really be proud if I sold out and I compromised my artistic integrity and didn't really do my best because I didn't think people would understand it? I mean, as you could imagine, that's a very conflicting state to be in. So trying to write actual rapping lyrics, that was too much of a stressful like idea for me to tackle. But when I started writing this song came to me naturally because I was like, I want to write about my feelings. And I love Hitomi more than anybody. And I love Mystic World. And I had this feeling of I want to make a response to that. And I had this like catchy instrumental that I composed that was like a pop J-pop punk rock sort of instrumental, and I kind of come up with a chorus based on like a title I had for it, and I was like, I should write this song first because this is what I actually feel inspired to write. At least I know it's not going to be wrong because it's not mad lyrical and too hard to understand. Well, if you don't speak Japanese, then yeah, it would be anyway. But it's like for Japanese audience, they would understand it because it's simple. It's not like too much like thrown at you right at once, right? So that made a lot more sense. Sorry, I gotta clear my throat. Maybe another sip of coffee. But that's why I thought that was the first song I should tackle. Now, the instrumentals for this album are really great. The ones that Tone Jones composed with me. Well, he composed them, and I basically got a discount, 10 beats for the price of one. And I jumped at the opportunity, yet I kind of regretted it after because there was that Hitomi lottery today, and I would have liked to participate more, but I kind of spent, you know, my maximum budget of spending money as I intended to, pay for these beats. And I kind of thought, I'm not even inspired to write these damn songs. I mean, I jumped at it because that was a limited time offer with the deals with the beats or whatever. And I wanted to snag like a good amount. That way I could do probably just an entire album of that. Now, it will be a cool album when it's finished, either way you look at it, because I'm like, those instrumentals, they have that old Super Kami Guru Alucard Tone Jones production vibe, but they also have this new, like, futuristic, upbeat, sort of mystical sound to them that I'm like, oh, this is going to have like that clear card captor Sakura vibe to it. So it's going to be really cool in that sense. I was actually brainstorming some ideas on my back deck earlier, just listening to the beats, reviewing them. And I came up with some ideas, but nothing I could really write down as far as rapping lyrics because I still am like stuck in the stigma of what should I do to move forward? Should I simplify my lyrics? Should I like keep bringing my A game and fire 1,000,000 rhymes per bar as like the way I normally do? And I've grown accustomed to doing it. That's why it would feel kind of strange if I was trying to rap slow and simple because I'm not used to that anymore. So if anybody does have any thoughts, please feel free to leave your feedback in the comments. I will at least consider your opinion, especially with everything going on. I have nothing to do. Well, I'd have nothing to lose but to hear you out. Since there's nobody coming on for their fortune told this evening, it seems, we will probably end this broadcast very soon. But we might give it another minute or so, see if anybody comes on last minute trying to get their fortune told. But yeah, this was just some of the things I thought I would discuss because I do have some ideas for other things. I actually wrote a chorus for a beat I produced, which is a hip hoppy more style instrumental for A Point to Prove, like a chorus for it. And it's a beat I produced. It's pretty good. But at the same time, I didn't feel motivated to write any lyrics, like rapping lyrics for the verses, because I'm sitting here thinking, well, what should I do about the rapping? How do I make it that it's going to be like popular and people are going to like it? Now, I don't want to be a sellout and only write what's, good that other people are going to like, but I won't like it because then I'm not being true to myself either. But I guess I'm going to take this next little while to like try to find the balance of what might work better for entertaining like a mass audience, draw more sales, more fans, because that would be the goal. I mean, I don't want to sit here with all these records and be nobody forever. I mean, what I don't understand is back in the day, underground rappers who used to rap really crazy and lyrical just like that were the biggest rappers of their time, but nowadays it's by rapping slow, stupid, and simple and sounding like they're drunk. Most of them do, and yet they make millions. It baffles me. I don't understand it. But I look at it this way. Either way, I will always love Hitomi. I will support her, and I'm just kind of hoping that things will work themselves out, especially after that chapter I read. It kind of gives me a little more faith and just believing that it's already done, just trusting with faith, letting go, let things work themselves out. And you know what? If there's another scratch lottery to participate in contests, since I actually could, even being in Canada, because I'm a VIP fan, it's pretty sweet. I got a lot of special unreleased photos that only I could see as part of a prize. It was really nice. I did get something. But yeah, just hoping another contest comes around, and maybe by that time I'll be in Japan, hopefully, and I'll actually be able to maybe go see her in concert in the VIP section, because that's one of my goals. That would just be wonderful. I mean, I think even if it was in the nosebleed section, I would still be like, it's Hitomi. I mean, I have such a joy just hearing her sing and watching her music videos that to actually see her in concert, it'd be like watching an angel perform on stage. And, that's also because I love them. But anyways, that will conclude our show for the evening. I hope you all enjoyed it. And If you'd like your fortune told next episode or in the future, feel free to comment after this broadcast is over. Just gender, zodiac sign, and general future, romance, or career reading. And we will get to it. Anyways, Super Kami Guru Alucard, peace out. Arigato gozaimasu, minasan. Oyasumi nasai. Jane.